We're just going to go over rolling stock. And so why rolling stock? Well, because we do lots of reviews of engines, but guess what? Without rolling stock, what is an engine for, right? You got to pull something. So there's so much rolling stock out there. I mean, you're really talking about 100 years of rolling stock made by Lionel, K-Line, MTH, Williams, Menards is getting into rolling stock in the last couple years, Bachmann, you name it, right? There's tons of rolling stock out there. And so I thought today, just to have some fun, I'd show you a little rolling stock of part of my collection. And I've got a mixture of rolling stock from post-war reproduction pieces to MPC to modern scale stuff, so kind of all over the board. But I thought it'd be fun just to look at rolling stock. And I am going to be sort of on ladders and using a handheld camera, so you're going to get a little shakiness in some of the things, so just bear with me on that one. But I think it'll be pretty fun, so let's get started. Alright, so we're just going to zip through these things because there's so much to cover here, but we'll start with this one. This is a scale Lehigh Valley boxcar. It means something special to me because this is where I grew up, in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. So, but again, look at the fantastic detail on these scale boxcars. You got the ladders, right? It's got the chains, brake wheels, just amazing detailing on this this boxcar. So nice scale size, really nice. Then we're gonna move over here. We got a pacemaker boxcar here, New York Central. I think this one, if I remember correctly, is, yep, it's got the sounds in it. So I love these things. These are so cool because they give you the wheel clickety-clack and the squealing and all the sounds of the train going around. So when you have a couple of these in a long consist, it's awesome. They sound great. Gives it a more realistic sound than just the engine chuffing away. So these things are so cool. If you don't have one of these, get one of these. You can make the sounds high and low on these, and you can turn the sounds on and off if you want to. But this is a cool pacemaker one, New York Central. And just as a side note, I can't wait for the pacemaker set to come out that Lionel's coming out with. That thing is going to be awesome. I saw the engine at York. It is so sweet. And a whole bunch of pacemaker freight service boxcars pulling behind that are going to be awesome. And then we have this one right here. This is, I believe this one is an MTH, if I remember correctly. So you can see on this one, it's got some really cool detailing. Like you got the wood plank flooring on this. It's obviously a flat car with some Mercedes-Benz M-Class SUVs on it. Now, MTH did a lot of these where they had these flat cars and they had all kinds of really interesting loads on them. I love these types of flat cars, right? I mean, you can have a ton of box cars and hoppers and everything else, but I love these flat cars that have all these different types of things that they're hauling on top of these flat cars. And MTH did a really cool series of these over the years of all different types of stuff. This happens to be one with the Mercedes-Benz. And these are actually, you know, little cars that die-cast cars in plastic that come off it, so you can have one. You can take one off if you're doing a scene on the side of the road where they're unloading or whatever it may be. So really neat. So this one right here is, of course, the Manhattan Project radioactive waste car. I love this thing. This, of course, is from the post-war era, and this is just a remake of this by the Department of Defense flat car they have here. But I love these because they do that little flashing with the radiation symbol, and just a cool idea from Lionel's post-war era. They're just used like little bulbs in them that heat up and then they blink on and off, and everybody's always loves those things when they see them going around the layout. So super cool. Here's an Amico safety train tank car. This one again is a scale tank car. It's got tons of details on the roof here. Really cool. I don't know, like I'm not familiar with like all the different parts of the US, if people know what Amico is. I know there's different gas companies and some people may not know what it is, but obviously it's a gasoline company. So but yeah, this one's a safety train, so it's very cool. I love it. This one here was I think this was a TCA special edition car. This is a Bethlehem Steel PB&E, which is Philadelphia, Bethlehem, and New England Railroad box cart. It's got the Bethlehem Steel logo on it. It's a big deal for me. I grew up right next to the Bethlehem Steel, so we used to drive by the steel all the time. We'd see all the trains. You know, they were always hauling out coke and everything else from the coke pits and stuff like that. Not the coke you're thinking of, but coke used in steel manufacturing. So yeah, this was a special car that I didn't get it, of course, when it was released. It was before my time, but I did grab it. I saw it online, and it's got some great detail. It's a scale box car, so really nice. But the whole thing was about being the Bethlehem Steel PB&E. So this one here I really like. So this is Apple Computer. And it's the early days of Apple Computer. You can see by the logo there with the apple with the multi-colors there. But this is a trailer train car, TTUX, and I love it. I love the way it has this sort of bar going down that's just holding the trailers. Apple Computer, right? I'm not even sure Lionel will be able to do this anymore today. I can imagine what Apple would try to charge for the copyright on these things, but yeah, really nice. It articulates in the center here, so it's one of my favorites too. Everybody recognizes the Apple Computer, but of course now it's just Apple. It's not Apple Computer anymore, but this is the early days, and so one of those special ones that they made representing different companies. So this is another one of the Sounds boxcars, right? So it's a B&O Sentinel Fast Freight Service, Baltimore, Ohio. Again, great colors on this one, but I have a second one in my line here so that you can basically hear all the clickety-clack and the sounds as it's going along. So awesome. This is a quick concrete enclosed hopper. I love the logo on this one, the colors. This is also scale. It's got tons of detail on it also. Love the walkways on the top here. Look at all this detail in the back here. This is just awesome, right? And I can't remember if this was, for some reason in my mind, it's clicking in my mind that this was a special car by one of the clubs, but I can't remember. I've got so much stuff I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. So this is a New York Central flat car with, of course, it's got the Pacemaker Freight Service. The van's on the top of it here. These are really cool. So they have, again, a wood base here, but even the little ramps and stuff like here, they go up and down, and they hook with little hooks right here. Sorry, I can't do it when I'm holding the camera, but basically it's a little ramp to get up and down up on the car that the guys would walk up and down. So really cool. Can never beat Pacemaker, right? The colors are awesome on it. This was a let's see, this was MTH. This was for the Celebration series that they made. These are high cube box cars. These things are awesome. So just total scale high cube box cars, lots of detail on them. It's got the huge door on the side here, and I actually got, we'll show a couple other ones, but I got a bunch of those in different road names. So, and then of course we have a Pennsylvania caboose here. I believe this one, if I'm not mistaken, is, this thing's heavy too. Yeah, this one has smoke. So this one's a smoker too. It's got, you know, sprung trucks and everything. Really nice. Lots of detail on it. So really cool there. And then down here we have the Marsk container car. This I use with my intermodal crane basically. So, and I was searching for this one for a while. Like, I couldn't find one. Every time one came up, somebody would grab it real quick. There's other ones you can get that are pretty easy to find, but this one was a little bit harder to find. Love the colors on this one though, and then of course you have the articulation in between here for both sides. So yeah, great car there. And then we have a Reading hopper car here that has a whole bunch of train wheels in it, which I thought was kind of cool. We got a Union Pacific. This is an older caboose here. It's just lighted, no smoke or anything like that, but still, cool car. And then we have a Giraffe car. So if you remember from the post-war era, there were cars that, a Giraffe car where the Giraffe would pop up and down here. So they had these little telltales that you clipped under the O-gauge track with sort of these little white sticks hanging down on it. And what would happen is as the car came to approach the telltale, the Giraffe would duck down, and then when he got past it, he would pop back up. So funny, right? Just a absolute fun car to watch as it's going around the track. Maybe we'll hook that up and just show you. But basically, this was a remake done of that car for Africa transport here. But this is actually Command, TMCC. So you don't need the telltales anymore. You just, on your cab 1 or cab 2 remote, you can make the Giraffe pop up and down. So a fun car. This, of course, is a submarine car. This is, again, another post-war piece remake. So this was put on a NATO flat car, and this is an HMS UK 2024 submarine. Now, if you remember these from the post-war era, these actually, this nose right here, you could actually click and turn and wind up a rubber band that's on the inside here, and the little propeller in the back will actually spin around, and you can actually use the little rudders and an elevator on the back here to put it in direction. This will actually run in a bathtub or a body of water or your pool or something like that. It actually does work. And it slides right off the flat car. Kind of cool. This was a MTH NASA tank car. It doesn't have a ton of detail on it. It's okay, but I just like the NASA logo and stuff like that. Anything to do with space, I'm like, enthralled with. So that's why I got that one. Down here we have a flat car that was actually from Menards. And so this is kind of funny, this flat car. It's a really nice flat car. It has wood platform on it, and it's got some detail. This is Norfolk Southern on this particular one. But this is holding the Saturn V rocket. Now, we all know the Saturn V rocket that took the guys to the moon, right, was like multiple stories tall. So there's no way a Saturn V rocket would squeeze onto a flat car, right? Maybe you could get one piece onto a flat car, and that's about it. But so it's kind of funny. Menards put this out. They just shrunk it down. But I thought it was kind of cool, so I bought it anyway. Just because I love space and anything to do with space. So, I just grabbed it. And then down here we have a really cool Conrail scale boxcar. Not in the Conrail blue, so in the brown. So, but again, another cool car. Then we got some Reddings. Now these are really cool. I love these Redding hoppers right here. They have the ends here that you pull it up a little bit and then it opens up. Okay, so these are kind of cool. And you can use these for anything. I use these a lot for loading stuff off the operating accessories. But nice green Redding colors on this one. This is a Bethlehem Steel culvert car. So if you have the culvert loaders, either the post-war or the new modern ones, these are really just where the culverts slide up and down. They've got this angle on them, and that's how you do the unload and load. But they came out with a series of Bethlehem Steel. You're going to see that theme throughout my layout because, again, I grew up next to the Bethlehem Steel, so it has a special place in my heart, and so I get a lot of Bethlehem Steel stuff. Okay, and then we got Hoosier Line PS1 boxcar here. You can't beat this. You gotta have. Everybody has to have one of these on your layout. If you don't have one, you need to go get one right now. Just go find one. I just love this line, and again, just great detailing on these boxcars. So really cool. This one I really love. This was, I think, an MTH, if I remember correctly. Suburban propane, big propane tank car. It's really long, which is what makes it cool. It has all this great railing and platform detailing on it. Great graphics. It's like sort of an, an off yellow or something like that. But, it's got sprung trucks on it. Really nice. Nice piece to have on there. And then I have Electromotive Division, EMD caboose. I didn't even know where I was going to put it or how I was going to use it, but I figured I'd find some place for it. Just love the colors on it. If you notice, there's a lot of blue in my railroad stuff, and you know, blue is my favorite color. But the EMD is, so maybe I'll get an EMD demonstrator or something like that one day, and I'll be able to pull something behind it. But really, when I see something, that's the thing. When I see something that I like, I just pick it up, and thinking maybe in the future I can put it behind something or do something with it. But this one's a really neat one with the colors and all the graphics on the side of it. Okay, I think that's it for this shelf. Let's move over to another shelf. All right, so I'm on the top shelf. I'm on a little ladder here. Hopefully I don't fall off and like have a crash on the floor. But anyway, these two tank cars right here are based off of post-war stuff. These are remakes. I think these are the MPC era, if I recall correctly. But these are, I really love these. They did this really bright, shiny chrome finish on these tank cars. Now, they're not scale, but who cares? They look great going around the layout. And they actually do have metal die-cast trucks and sprung trucks. So they're really, they got upgraded a little bit on this one here, on the shell one. But if you look at it, it just looks so cool with the graphics and the shiny chrome. I don't touch them with my fingers because if you find a lot of these, the chrome is sort of like rubbing off because the oil on your hands, I think, disintegrates it. But I got these two mint, and they're beautiful when they run around the layout. They look so cool. And then I have this one right here, which is a Texaco one. And this one is the same thing, basically the same exact car. You notice nothing really changes as far as the car goes itself, just different colors. But this is a Texaco one. Now this one does have plastic trucks on it, but again, who cares? It's awesome. And then this one right here, I got this nickel plate road flat car with the trailer truck on it. This is a Sears trailer truck. I think this one, I can't remember. I can't remember if this was a club exclusive one or not. But I like this one. This is the Sears logo, I think. I'm not positive, but I think this is when Sears redid their logo in like the, I don't know, 70s or 80s maybe. They went from their old logo that they had forever to this sort of modern one with this tan paint scheme and a different font on their thing. But again, just part of history. So I thought it was really cool. I love that one. This is an Airco boxcar. Now this is just a standard size boxcar. It's not a scale boxcar, but this was a special run by one of the clubs. And the reason I got this one is because Airco is a company where I grew up. So they were big. They make all the industrial gases like, you know, oxygen, acetylene, and all those different types of gases and stuff like that. So great colors, but this was a special club car right here. And then I got this one here. This is also a special club car that was made. It's Kodak. Obviously, everybody knows who Kodak was, on a New York Central flat car. Again, not scale, but I think it's super cool. It has a Kodak Express trailer on it and stuff like that. So love that one. So for you guys that are interested in finding these, I should have known. I should have done this ahead of time. But basically, the Kodak was a Lots TOFC special edition one, and the Airco was actually done by the Lionel Collectors Association convention car. So that was the Airco box car on that one. So okay, and then down here we've got the this is the monster chasing Scooby and Shaggy gondola car, right? So this is based on obviously a post-war car, which was like, I think it was a cop and robber's car, right? Where the cop was chasing the robber around the car. So these figures move around the car, spin around while the train's moving. So this has been remade so many times, but this is one of them, and this is part of the Scooby set. Ruh-roh. So basically, yeah, it's cool when you see it running around. So you got the ghost sort of chasing Shaggy and Scooby there. Then you got the Scooby-Doo boxcar. This is just part of that set, but great graphics on these from the old TV show. And then right next to this one, we have the Scooby-Doo. It's kind of the aquarium car, right? So again, the aquarium car is something that Lionel did post-war era, where you had the little fish sort of spinning around. And this actually is just another version of it, where they have like the ghosts and everything chasing Shaggy and Scooby inside there. So just part of that set, but kind of cool. Yep, and just more Scooby-Doo boxcars. There's the group there, and then would you do it from Scooby Snacks? So kind of cool. Okay, and then we got a work car here, an Amtrak work car, which actually goes with the tie ejector car, but we're not doing engines today. So yeah, this is a cool work car. Has the wood grain on the side, fencing around it. So just matches the tie ejector car, but really like that one. Here's another Airco industrial gases one. This is a tank car, so it's kind of like, again, the traditional size tank car, but again, this was a special run by one of the clubs, and kind of matches the box car I have at the top there. This is a CSX. This is a video, the ones with the video cameras in them. You can see right there. I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's a video camera in there. This is the ones they just released, I don't know, a couple years ago, whenever it was, where it'll, you know, shoot video of your layout as your train's going around. So, but I just like the CSX actually. This is a refrigerator car here. This goes with the Lionel icing station. So this is one of those cars that has the little hatch on the top that lets the guy load the ice blocks inside the car. And then, of course, you have the little thing here which lets you unload them once they get in there. But this is an American refrigerator one, so they had some sort of goofy ones that weren't really had any real road names on them, and this is one of the ones you could buy separately that had that, so I really like it. This is another club car. This is a Westinghouse. This was so hard to get. I couldn't believe how hard a time I had finding this car, but Westinghouse is another company that was big in the Lehigh Valley where I grew up in, and so this is the old Westinghouse logo. I don't even know if Westinghouse is even around anymore, to be honest with you, but anyway, this is a scale box car, and they did a really nice job on the colors on it, so I really like that car. This one is a UPS operating car. So this is based on the old post-war operating cars where they have a little guy in here. He's got a little package with a little magnet on there, and has a little plunger here. When you hit your uncoupling track, right, it pulls the plunger down, the door opens, and the guy throws out the package. Kind of like he does today, where he just throws it up on your porch, right? Same thing. So they were ahead of their game when they were making this car. But this is a UPS parcel service one. And yeah, I really like this one just because it's has the great graphics on it for UPS. Down here we have a Pennsylvania flat car with a Greyhound Lines bus. So this is an old, I don't even know the era, to be honest with you. It's got to be like maybe a 50s bus, 60s, something around there. But has the cool Greyhound logo on it. This actually is, this was made by MTH. This actually is a really heavy die-cast bus. So this has a lot of weight to it when it's on the layout. And yeah, even the bus itself has some great detail on it. That's why I love it. And it's the old classic Greyhound Lines logos and stuff like that. So really cool. Okay, this was also a club special. If I remember, it was the Denver, I think it was the Denver TCA division or something like that. But anyway, this is another flat car, scale flat car. It's got great wood detailing on the bottom here. I love these flat cars that are hauling these kind of things. This is kind of similar to the Mercedes-Benz one that MTH did, but this one was snowmobiles, which is so cool. And it's, of course, the DNRG Rio Grande, awesome one. This one here is a box car that was done by, oh gosh, which one was it? I forget now. local TCA group, but this is Tasty Cake. So if you're not familiar with Tasty Cake, depending where you are in the country where you're watching this is a big thing where I live in Philadelphia, where the Tasty Cake company is. We all grew up with Tasty Cakes when I was a kid. There are these little things like candy cakes and crimpets and pies and things like that. So I had to grab this one. It actually has a picture of the crimpets on it. So awesome car. This was another club car, which was a Ben & Jerry's, right? This is not a scale one. It's the traditional size, but still super cool. The colors on here and the graphics are awesome. And it's got Ben & Jerry's Vermont Finest ice cream, so really nice. Love it. Okay, next we got this one, which is Corning Glassworks covered hopper. This was done by the Lionel Collectors Club Association. I forget what year, but anyway, it's really a traditional sized covered hopper, but again, Corning Glass, pretty famous, right? Corning, New York. Oh, right there it says. I didn't even know that. 1974 is when this came out. So LCCA of Corning, New York. So awesome. I just learned something about my own rolling stock I didn't even know. And then over here we have a Sherwin-Williams VAT car. So this one here, it's obviously got the famous Sherwin-Williams logos on it. The old Sherwin-Williams where they have sort of the world with the paint dripping all around it. Really cool. I love the VAT cars. They've made different ones of those, pickle cars and different things like that. So, and this one is a New York Central milk car. So, refrigerator milk car. This is a K-line car. So this is actually an operating car. So the doors open up here and it'll unload the milk cans on the platform. So if you're familiar with the milk cars, you know, like the Lionel milk cars. They had forever, had the little guy that had the little solenoid in it, and they basically spit out the cans. Those are the ones where if you have the voltage turned up too high, you have to duck while it shoots the can across the room, right? These K-line ones are super nice. If you ever want to get a milk car that just looks realistic and operates really smoothly, grab one of these K-line ones, because the little guy, I think there's a little conveyor belt in here. And basically what happens is the little guy very slowly pushes it out on the platform. They don't like get thrown out, and operates really smoothly. You don't need anything special for it. You just put it on a regular uncoupling track and you hit the magnet, and there's nothing underneath here, but it's the magnetism that triggers the sequence to actually make it trigger and move and then unload the milk cars. Highly recommended if you're interested in a milk car and you want to get really great results. So. Okay, and down here we have the Canadian National tank train cars. Now these are scale tank train cars, and they are awesome. They've got incredible details on them. Yeah, I love them. And they're bright white with that red Canadian National logo on it. And of course they have the little tubes, pipes that connect between the cars. I have them disconnected right now. It's just sort of sitting here, but normally it'd be attached on this side. And then you have that little sort of loop between the cars, right? Which was so that they could just unload all the liquid, whatever they were hauling, right, from one car instead of having to go to each individual car. So great tank train car here. This is a 4-car set here, but of course you could get a whole series of these, and they would look awesome going behind the train if you had, like, you know, a dozen of these things going. So tank train cars, you can never have a bad thing with the tank train car. And I think no, I don't have the end car, but if you get the tank train car set, there's a end car that has an end light on it too, so really nice. These are just some Reading covered hoppers, but they got some nice detail on it too. So nothing too exciting, but still cool. Okay, so these aren't rolling stock per se, but they are something that's pulled behind trains. So I love these disconnect cars, right? Because they basically do not have any frame on them, right? The big log that you're hauling is what the frame is, and they're just on 2 trucks, right? And so Lionel made these. And if you have a whole bunch of these and you're pulling them behind, say, like a Heisler or a 2-truck or 3-truck Shay or something like that, looks really awesome as a logging car, right? If you get a whole bunch of these. And they have the little detail of the chains basically holding the logs, the giant tree logs on the cars. So, and these are nice. I think they come in 3 packs or something like that. So you can get a whole bunch of them and have a long logging consist. So really neat. Okay, so here's some more of those Celebration Series high-Q box cars that MTH did. This is the Reading B-Line service. This is one of my favorite lines also. I have a couple of SD70s, I think, that I double head and pull all the Reading B-Line stuff behind, but really cool. So I got a couple of them because I couldn't resist. I had to get the Conrail blue. There was just no way I could pass that one up. But yeah, great detailing on these all over the place. And then there was a third one, which is the Erie Lackawanna, or this is actually just a Lackawanna Railroad. Again, great colors on these. So couldn't pass that one up. That was just too good. And then down here I have an old MPC DuPont tank car. This is traditional size. This was built in, it says right there, 76. And it's actually got a, looks like a water transfer like decal on it, but still, DuPont is another one. I live in Delaware, so DuPont is big here in Delaware. So, yeah, another cool car. This is a Texas and a Pacific. I think these are, what are these, Piper Cubs or no, these are Beechcraft. I think these are Beechcraft Bonanzas, right? These are cool because these actually come off of here. This is another remake of a post-war piece that they did, but basically these airplanes come off here and the wings actually open up and you have a full airplane little piece on it, but they're kind of stacked on each other here on that one. So I know these things are like not realistic, but they're just cool and interesting. Even the little propellers like spin around on these things. So they're just fun. And that's what trains are all about, having fun. So that's why I have it. Here's a Conrail covered hopper. So this is in Conrail's brown colors. Nice car. I think this is a scale one, so a lot of great detail on it. Here is another one of those operating box cars. This happens to be a USPS Priority Mail one. So there's the guy with the little mail bag. He's gonna throw it out the door, you know, when you pull the little plunger down on the uncoupling track, so kind of cool. Okay, so this is a neat one. I picked this up in York, I don't know how many years ago it was. It's a New York Central Aracus beer car, but this is actually my track cleaning car. It actually has 2 little things underneath here where you just attach these pads, and it's got a little switch right here for on and off, and you just pull this around your layout, and it actually does a great job. It's got 2 pads, one for each side, so each pad hits the center rail and the opposite outer rail when it's cleaning it, and it goes around and just polishes up the track. It's awesome, but the graphics on this box car are really nice. So I'm not sure if the guy who is making these makes them anymore, but it's actually a great track cleaning car. It actually works really well, but the graphics were what really sold me on it. All right, and then down here we have, of course, of State of Maine box car. You can't have, again, this is kind of like the Hoosier line box car. You got to have one of these on your layout. Simple as that. Don't have a layout with one of these on it. This one is a traditional sized box car, and it is a Sullivan's Cadillac Hams and Bacon out of Detroit. So I love these box cars that have all these
graphics of all these like classic companies in the United States. It's really cool. This has a nice wood grain. This is a wood-sided boxcar here, so still looks great. But it's the graphics that pull me in on a lot of these cars. Even the doors here, right? They have all the. They could have just made this all the same color, but they have all these details on here with these hinges and all the railings and stuff like that. So I think it's super cool looking. This one is a Xerox and Kodak boxcar, New York Central flat car. This was built in '87, says right here. I don't really know. I'm just like reading the things here. But this was a special run for one of the clubs, and it's MPC era, obviously. But it's they just basically took two plain white trailers here and they just put the logos on it. But still, I mean, very famous American company, Xerox and Kodak, so I thought it was cool. I love New York Central, so picked that one up. This is a Union Pacific trailer car. Again, love the colors on this one. And this is one of those scale ones, again, with all the great details, like the ramps here. Push the little thing up and the ramp goes down right between the cars. So if you had a couple of these, you could walk between the cars, right? So those are really neat. Great colors on this one. The yellow, red, and gray for Union Pacific. This is one of my favorites also right here. So this is a Pennsylvania flat car. MTH, I think, is the one who made this one, and it's got the crates on it. And look at all the great detail with the chains and everything. I just love it. I love when you see freight hauling and it's not just a series of boxcars. You're seeing all kinds of interesting things. So this is another one that has a lot of detail on it. It's got the wood platform and all the chains and everything else that are holding down these crates. So, love it. This is a McDonald's flat car and trailer. So I have no idea. I'm not sure it says here. Well, it says 996, so it looks like it was made in 96. This was an MTH one. Has the McDonald's graphics on the side here, so big scale flat car. And then this is another one right here. This is a Pennsylvania culvert car. It's got the culverts in it here. So I have a culvert loader and unloader on my layout, so that's why I picked those. I'm not really a huge fan of the ones that are just say lino lines on the side, so that's why whenever they come out with an actual road name, I usually grab it for these types of cars. And then down here we have Lehigh Valley hopper with some container loads in it. So they come in and out here, so really cool. Full scale. And then I have another Burlington refrigerator express for the icing station. So again, one of those ones that the icing station can load into. So we've done USPS, we've done UPS, and so we gotta do FedEx too. And so it's the same thing. That this is one of those box cars where the guy throws out a FedEx package. This is a traditional size car. It's looks like 97 is when it was made, but like that one. This is a cool post-war remake that Lionel did. So this is an automatic merchandising car, Pennsylvania Railroad. So these are neat. They have a mechanical motor inside that basically opens up and then it pushes out little crates. And so it's kind of neat. It's not just that one type of thing where you have the plunger and it throws it out. This actually just unloads crates. So this was a pretty famous one in the post-war era. This is a post-war remake. You can see the old post-war trucks on here. And I remember when they came out with this, I'm like, yeah, I can't, usually the post-war ones are kind of beat up and some of them don't work and everything. So I'm like, yeah, this is great. I can get basically the same thing that was made in the post-war, only modern, and everything will work on it. So I like that one too. This is an MTH Lehigh Valley dump car. MTH makes the best dump cars, period. because their dump cars basically go down like this slow, and it just dumps it like that, and everything dumps out, and it has a nice natural look to it, and it goes back, right? When it's done, it actually goes back and closes up, as opposed to some of the older Lionel ones where they just sort of like, and then they left you there, and you had to like push it back or do something depending what era it was from. So yeah, so if you're looking for dump cars, whether it be the coal dump cars or the logs, go for the MTH ones. You won't be disappointed when you see them actually function. This is a Bethlehem steel covered. So I think these, if I remember, well, maybe they don't. No, this one, yeah, these don't come off on this one, but again, Bethlehem steel is big in my heart, so that's why I have a lot of that stuff here. This was a special edition done by the Denver TCA group here. So this is another one of those remakes of the classic post-war Lionel car where you had the cop and robber. In this case, it's the miner chasing the mule around the car. Superstition mountain line. So this looks like it's 97 they did this one. So that's a fun one too when you see that running around the miner chasing the mule. So this is a New Jersey zinc company slurry tank car. Not a lot of detail on it or anything like that, but I just love the, obviously I live close to New Jersey, right? It's right across the border there, so it's in my area, so I picked that one up too. And then we have this New York Central car here. Oh, I think this one, if I remember, this one I think is the one that has the, let me think about this for a second. I think this is the one where it has the smoke in it, where when the door opens, it lets out smoke to make it look like it's a refrigerated car, and you're letting all the cold out, right? You get all that sort of steam that comes out when you open up a refrigerated car. I think that's this one. I know there's one here somewhere, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. This is a CSX log dump car. So again, sort of like the coal dump ones, these are really cool. They have that nice smooth dump action. So, and CSX blue, can't beat that, come on. And then we got a post-war piece here that is the United States Navy. This is a remake of the flat car with boat, right? It's supposed to be a PT boat. It's just a traditional size, but still. Just one of the pieces of Lionel history there. This is a Lehigh Valley insulated car. Really cool color. It's sort of like, it's hard to see in the camera probably. It's a little bit brighter than the camera's like showing, but it's sort of like a cream yellow with all this black lettering on it. So this one does have just plastic trucks on it, but still works fine. And then I have another dump car, MTH, Pennsylvania. Again, just different road names. That's pretty much it. Down here, I've got some great hopper cars. So these, Lionel made these in sets of 3. So you can see mine here. I got Central of Georgia, we got a Conrail, and we got a Lehigh Valley one here. These are die cast. These are super heavy. And they got this sort of, it's a plastic coal load here, so it's not the real coal load, but still looks pretty good. And these are just great hopper cars. They came in sets of 3 with different road names in each set. Super heavy die cast, really a lot of detail on them. So, oh, sorry about that. But yeah, those are really cool too. So I got the Georgia, Conrail, and Lehigh Valley set. This is a Reading PS1 boxcar, scale boxcar, and so can't beat Reading boxcars. Great detail there. Now these are the rotary gondola cars. I have a whole set in the CSX line here. These go with my coal tipple right here that's on my layout. So that is one cool accessory, I gotta tell you. When people see that running, they're just like amazed, like, how's it doing that? How's it flipping over that car and not ripping it off the track? But yeah, I have a whole series of these. They're all over the place. That I use with the coal tipple. This is a New York Central flat car with the wood load. So this is used with the number 264 fork loader operating accessory. So this is the little car you pull up next to the fork loader, and then the guy comes with the fork loader and takes each piece of wood off. So, but again, a lot of those came with just flat cars that were labeled like Lionel Line. So I love to get the actual road name ones if I can, and that's why I picked that one up. And then that's just another Bethlehem Steel culvert car. This is the Mercury Project Cape Canaveral capsule car. So this is again a remake of a post-war piece that had these like Mercury capsules, right? So it would be like the capsules being transported around for NASA. And yeah, it's kind of cool. Like this was, I think, part of Lionel's space set that they had way back when in the post-war era. It was one of the cars in that set, and so they did a remake of it. You have the sort of the flexible little bands here that are, you know, simulating they're supporting the capsules here on the car, but love it. And then over here we have Safety Clean, Fluid Recycling Services, tank car. This is again another MTH car. You know, if you're familiar with Safety Clean, it's used a lot in like the automotive industry and stuff like that to clean parts and things like that. So, and then over here we gotta have everyone has to have one of these on their layout, which is a mint car. So Lionel, of course, did these mint cars. There's tons of these out there and all kinds of like names. This happens to be the Fort Knox Gold Reserve mint car, so you can see through the clear windows. You see all the gold piled in there. Okay, I don't know why you'd advertise all that gold, but great for thieves who want to take it. But yeah, so these are those mint cars that are a remake of the post-war mint car that came out. And I have another one here, which is the Philadelphia mint, because I've been to the Philadelphia mint up in Philadelphia. So this one is silver mint car, done in like this copper finish. And then up here, this was a special club car too. It was a Pennsylvania Power and Light Company hopper car. And basically, again, I grew up in the Lehigh Valley, so the Pennsylvania Power and Light was, you know, the power company. And so this is kind of cool. I saw that, serving the heart of the industrial East. This was in '97. This was a Lots car. So Lionel, I think it's Lionel Operating Train Society, I think is the club. So this is a Pennsylvania Railroad unloading car. So this is where the two guys here unload these planks off the car, so they get sort of thrown off the car. This one's a cool one. I should actually get this onto my layout. I haven't actually run it over there on my layout and actually done it, but this is a really cool car. These are all stacked here, and they just you see the two guys unloading them on the onto the platform or wherever you're unloading them on. And this is a Santa Fe. I think this is a milk car. I can't remember actually. This is really sad. You get so many cars you don't even remember what some of them are anymore. But it's got pickups on the bottom, so I think this is a milk car if I'm not mistaken. And it unloads milk cans. But gotta have Santa Fe. And then we got a Canadian tank car here. This one, I'm pretty sure this is MTH, but again, great graphics and stuff like on this car. More Pennsylvania Power and Light hoppers. And Bethlehem Steel, of course. And then I've got Lehigh Valley. These are round roof box cars. And same thing here with the Pennsylvania round roof. So I forget how many years ago Lionel started doing the round roof box cars, but really neat. And that's just another culvert car. And then I got a Union Pacific caboose there. I got a Delaware and Hudson caboose. So if I ever get that line, I got a caboose to go with it. So I'm all set there. We got a Bethlehem Steel here welding car. This one's kind of cool. So this one has a little guy here, and he's actually doing a little weld job while the train is moving. I don't know how he's going to do that. That's going to be a little difficult, but he actually moves here. I don't know if you can see there's a little mechanism here, and there's like a flickering welding thing that happens on this one. So this is one of the operating cars. I love that one. This is a New York Central, has the black and the gray scheme on it. And then down here we got some of the barrel cars. So I do have the barrel loader on unloader on my layout. So I need some cars to go with it. So of course these are the ones that, you know, vibrate like right, and they rattle across the car, and then they load onto the barrel loader, and then you can do the same thing and load them the other direction back onto the car. But anyway, they had these in different road names, Conrail and Union Pacific, so I grabbed those. So they were kind of cool. These are the Pacific Fruit Express Union Pacific box cars that have the sounds in them. So this is another set. One of these has the sounds in it, which gives you the, you know, clickety clack and the screeching of the wheels and all that kind of stuff. So I think this was a Vision Line set, but anyway, the colors are awesome on this one. I love the orange and the brown on these, but again, this is a set that you get the cool sounds if you don't have those on your layout. So, and then we have a GM Electromobile. So this is a remake again of a post-war piece, but this had the little generator inside of it here, and you could actually on the top here, there's a little port here that you put in a little power pole that has a light on the top of it, and it'll pass the power from the track through there to light up the light as if the generator car was, you know, lighting up the light. So this is obviously another post-war remake of the Minuteman car. This is one of those where it has a plunger on the bottom right here, and when it pulls down, the top splits open at the top, opens up, the missile comes up, and it fires it, right? So classic post-war piece that was part of the, I think that was also part of the space set, right? But you can see it kind of opens up and there's the missile in there. So again, a lot of these pieces, right, from the post-war era, you know, are really damaged. Some of them don't work, and so it was really nice when Lionel, mostly during the LTI era, when Richard Kuhn took over, was doing all these reissues and remakes of these classic post-war pieces. So really nice. Down here we have a Bethlehem steel girder car. So these are cool because they're nice and long, and it's got these girders on it. So you got the chains holding them down. Double trucks. And then I have the traditional aquarium car. So this is the one that sort of has the wavy glass in it where it looks like the fish are moving around in the water right here. So this was a remake. This one actually has the gold lettering on it. And yeah, so that Lionel remade that one for the aquarium car. And then they got some other Bethlehem. You've seen those before a million times here. And this is another remake of the classic autoloader car from the post-war era. So this one was really cool because it had 4 different colored cars on it. And it's the typical, this one's a New York Central auto carrier, but still, gotta have one of those too because that's just classic Lionel. This is a New Jersey Central double dump car. So really neat. You can dump both of those. I think this was again another remake of the classic. So this was very famous in the post-war era. Oh, sorry about the camera there. This was famous in the post-war era too, right? So another classic car there. And then over here I have a traditional Lionel dump car, right? Now this one this is kind of like the MTH where it dumps it and it does go back, right? It's not one of the MPC ones where it dumps and then you have to go click it back in position. So this is a Bethlehem steel one, and then I have the same thing in a Weyerhaeuser Timber Company log dump car, and this is the same thing. These dump down and then come back automatically. So these two are classic post-war pieces that they did a remake on. I got the same thing up here in a Pennsylvania Power and Light dump car. And then down here we got a Union Pacific Challenger. I think this is another, yeah, this, if you look in here you can see the packages. So this is another one of the merchandising cars that basically will, when you trigger it, it'll unload packages onto the side of the road. I got a Reading hopper car here with a coal load. And then, of course, I got good old Conrail Blue. This is a traditional size box car, MPC era, but I can't resist Conrail blue, sorry. And then we got a great scale Delaware and Hudson double door boxcar here. So it's the Bridgeline, New England and Canada. Great graphics on that one. And then we got a Pennsylvania Automobile round roof boxcar here. Super cool. And then we have these molten ingot cars here for Bethlehem Steel. These are super cool. So these all light up here in the middle here, so it looks like glowing molten steel, basically. And if you look at it, they got some great detail on here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's gears right here for turning these. So these actually go on a little gear thing here. I don't know if you can, I gotta get a better light here, but probably can't see it back inside there, but there's some gearing there that makes it go back and forth for dumping them over. So really good detail on these. So if you have a Bethlehem Steel like theme going on, you can pull a whole bunch of these behind whatever you're hauling it with, and they look super cool because they're all lit up and glowing and stuff like that. So really love that one. And then we got another one of the container cars here, right? That's doing this one's a Canadian National Intermodal car. So we got those over here too, right underneath the crane here. But love the colors on that too. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it on some look at rolling stock. Stay tuned. We got a couple more really cool videos coming up, and I will see you next time.